this is Amy, your hope slinger. Yet a different setting. I know we're just getting to know each other here on this YouTube channel, but this is my home office. If you've been with me any amount of time, you know that I am a master massage therapist, and so this is where the healing happens. And I thought it was very fitting that I talked to you tonight from this location because we're going to be talking about the healing. It's woven into all the time that we talk. And the one thing that I'm learning about this YouTube platform is that it's a little bit of a delay. And so I'll be talking along here, doing our thing, and then all of a sudden I'm inundated with comments and people hopping on. It's a little unnerving, but I think I'm getting used to it. I am learning, and that is only because you all have had the most beautiful patience and shown me such grace as I am trying to do this new thing. And, failing, it's okay. It's only bad if you don't get up and try again, right? So I don't know how your week was, but we are here doing a study, doing a discussion, kind of digging through some layers of one thing, only one thing for 8 weeks. And today we're finishing up week 5. So that means we only have 3 weeks left. But we are gathering to look at one verse of the Bible, Galatians 6:9, which says, "Do not grow weary in doing good, because at the right time you will reap a harvest of blessings if you don't give up." So there are so many translations that we have talked about, and we're going to continue to look at those different translations. But typically on Fridays, we just kind of gather back together. We kind of debrief. We kind of just take a moment. We think about what we have talked about this past week, and this week it's been all about time. We have looked at that very, very first. Don't grow weary in doing good, because at the right time. And we've been talking about all things time. So, hi, welcome, welcome. So, that's what we have been talking about. And I hope that the discussions have been helpful for you. Just if nothing else, an encouragement that we don't get to see the beginning from the end, right? So, time for us is really different because it's so linear, right? And we have these events that happen. But when you have time that is not constrictive, when we have time that can't hold the person who's looking at the beginning to the end, it's kind of trippy, because then we're like, well, we just have to keep then moving on. And it sheds a new light. It sheds a new light on that verse. Because if we're supposed to not grow weary in doing good, because at the appointed time, at the right time, at the perfect time, we will reap what we have been sowing. See, we haven't studied that part yet. That's a little teaser of what's coming up over next week. We're going to look at the next part of that verse, which says we will reap. And that's going to be a fun thing to look at. But I just wanted to wrap up this time thing, because so many things are time specific. So I don't know what you all have going on in your lives, but I know that if you are living here on this earth, there's craziness that's happening all the time. There's good, there's bad, there's ugly, there's beautiful. Like, there's all these things that happen to us just by virtue of walking, which makes this verse so beautiful, because it says, don't grow weary in doing the good. Don't get tired of good. Don't think that good is lost. Don't think that good doesn't matter. Don't think that okay, I'm just going to throw my hands up and I'm just going to be like the world. I'm just going to be like every other mean person out there. We're commanded to not grow weary in our doing good. And it reminds us that the next step is we will, at the appointed time, at the perfect time. And so here we go. This is our battle cry. This is our moving forward. This is our fuel for the fire, right? So that we can stand firm, even when our hearts are heavy. And very vulnerably, I have shared with you that this has been a very difficult week thinking about time because we're remembering my father who transitioned to heaven, and we miss him, right? We miss him, and there's things about his legacy, and he was a cowboy preacher, and there's things that we're remembering with such love and such fondness, but then it makes us think of him, and then we miss him again, right? And so that is like the fleshly part. That is a time stamp, September 5th, that will always be there. And then at some point, when enough years go by, here's the sobering thought. September 5th will not have anything to do with my father's passing. Right? Like, have you ever thought about that? Like 1,000 years ago when people were born or they died, I mean, very few of us get even a very long remembrance of our time here on earth, right? But that's how I can grieve, but I have hope. And I would pray, I would hope that that would be what you could say as well. That when these bad things hit, we know that it's all a part of our timeline. Like we know that this is what we're walking through. So how beautiful that while we are waiting on this appointed time for both the blessings and for the inevitable bad stuff that's going to happen, for the sadness, for the things that hurt our hearts, for both of these things, we have encouragement. For the good and the bad, we have the encouragement to continue walking. And it says, don't grow weary in doing good. So you keep that good close to you. You continue on with the good, even through the heartbreak, right? So I don't know if that speaks to anybody out there. And it's okay if it doesn't. I mean, I have said this a million times that you being here is such a blessing. It is such a blessing. And you just never know what little nugget you might be able to pick up. And my hope is that you can ponder on that nugget a little bit, right? You can look at it. And maybe nobody has, talked about, I don't know, talked about their faith or talked about their walk, if you will, talked about the things that they've seen with their own eyes, without yelling at you, without calling you a bad person. I don't know. But here's what I know, that's not why I'm here. All I'm here to do is to hope, sling hope and encouragement, to give healing when I can, to let that flow through me, and to basically just let you know that there is somebody out there who is not growing weary in doing good. And it's a good way to go through life, I'm telling you. And it's not something that I hold the patent to. It's not something that I hold the secret to. It's something that I'm freely sharing all the time. Well, at least for the next 3 weeks. And then I will be sharing too in whatever platform is provided for me to share on. So I wanted to end with the time, saying that time is not your enemy. Time will keep on rolling. Time will do what time is going to do. And we don't know exactly all about that time, but we are encouraged to continue to walk through those open doors, right? I have something, and I've already talked to you long enough today, but maybe this will help encourage you to hold on until Monday. I'm going to start with a story. I know I love story time. Um, I read to my kids and read to my grandkids like none other because stories are powerful. Amen. Stories are powerful that, like, we could have total opposite beliefs. Okay. We could be on the total opposite end of the spectrum. And why do we even have the spectrum anyway? But let's just say, okay. But I could tell you a story of a personal happening. I could tell you a story of how love affected me. I could tell you a story of what I saw and how my life was radically changed. And that's something that we don't even have to debate, right? Like there would be no one who could come along and say, nope, you didn't see that. It's not valid. Be like, I'm living in the miracle. How are you going to tell me that something I'm living in is not valid, right? And so maybe I kind of got off on a little bit of a bunny trail. Forgive me. But maybe, just maybe, you are coming across this video for a purpose, for a reason, dare I say, at the perfect time, so that you too can start to gain some understanding, some wisdom, maybe a perspective shift. Maybe by not being yelled at, it will show you that a different side of things, a different side of faith. Anyway, that's my hope. I would hope that everybody could just be healed and whole. That's why I got into the line of work. Hello, Aunt Lil. That I did to spread that healing, to be a vessel of that healing. So we have got much, much more. We're going to talking about time. The next 3 weeks are going to be jam packed with goodness, Moving on, talking about at the perfect time, we will reap. We're going to stop there. He's saying to stop there. We're going to talk about that. We're going to look at some different meanings of reaping. We're going to explore maybe some things that we've heard, that uh, we will sow. I mean, we will reap what we sow. We're going to look at that. We're going to look at all sorts of things. But we are halfway done, over halfway done. We're now 5 weeks out of the 8 weeks done. So again, tell a friend, subscribe and like to this, even though it is a little bit random today. That's kind of our Friday feel. And if you want to join me live for prayer, I do a live prayer at my keyboard every Friday morning over on the Book of Faces. You can find me there, Amy Wiggins Allmon, if you would want to, and I would love to have you. That's free, just like this is free for everybody. Yeah, would love to have you join over there too. If you want to find out more about Hope Slinger Ministries, you can check out amyallman.com, and that will give you all of the goodness. And that is all I had for you tonight. I wanted to get this in so that we can have a blessed and full weekend. And I will be coming back. We will be continuing on with Galatians 6:9. As always, I am inviting you to have conversation with the one that sent me about any questions, about anything. There's nothing you can take to him that he will not talk to you about. Yeah. Okay. With all that in mind, I love you all. Thank you for hopping on. And I do have to say, I meant to say this before, that we did actually hit 103 subscribers. That is so little compared to other people. It's a good thing I don't compare myself to other people anymore. Amen. I thank you. You 103 people are awesome. And I am so glad that you are along for the ride. Hit subscribe and like, though, if you would be so kind, and we will keep this train rolling on Monday. Have a great weekend. Love you guys. Bye bye.